boat. I said, don't pass to that guy, man. Don't agenda.
All right, with that, Wagwan family. Once again, we managed to organize another soccer family get together. I'm the guy that's gonna be asking some of the questions, and today we got another cast of characters. So I'm gonna start off on my left. We got the Arsenal fan, Bazzy. Bazzy, say what's up to the people.
Good evening, everybody. It's a very difficult week for Arsenal fans, but we're here and we're representing as usual.
Speaking the truth, speaking the truth. And I got a fellow Manchester United fan out here. We got Labrell. Once again, say what's up, Labrell.
Blessings, 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 blessings. Glad to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Glory Messiah. And of course, we got to promote a little diversity. So the minority in Chelsea, we got Nahom.
How's it
Nahom,
going,
say what's
guys?
up to the people.
My presence here is sponsored by Troopy Cannon. They are
Yay!
fearless, bold, and independent like me. You know what I'm saying? From Baltimore, Maryland. It's delicious.
And also a little blurry like you.
All right, so let's kick it off real quick. We got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the Champions League. Barcelona and Juventus. That would have been a good game on paper if Cristiano Ronaldo was there, but Barcelona took control of that game. They won that game 2-0. Um, Labrella, what are your thoughts on that game?
Uh, First, want to say Cristiano Ronaldo probably wouldn't have made any difference in this match. I think Barcelona came out ready to play. Um, they had a lot of speculation around their club, a lot of speculation about the pride of their players, about the pride of a certain player. So I think that they came out with a little bit more initiative, a little bit more to play for. Remember, I always, I'm more of a what I see than more of a what I read sort of spectator, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I evaluate more on what I see on the pitch than what they may have on paper or whatnot. But Juventus came out a little flat. Maybe that is because Ronaldo wasn't there, but I still feel like Barcelona came to play. I could go over individual parts of the match, but all in all, that's my opinion. I just think it's one of those where they just were just ready to play.
Bazzi, the Classico defeat that was a tough one, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But the fact that they had it was a bounce back win and it was in the Champions League, which is their ultimate goal. Do you think we have to give Coleman some credit, right?
We do, but right off the back, I'm going to disagree with Labrell. I absolutely think that Cristiano Ronaldo would have made a difference. He's fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know how else to put it,
bro.
He's been carrying them since he got there. He's been the difference maker. He's been the goal scorer, and like I say, that ability of knowing that this player is on the field, he lifts the spirit of the team up. And I think they were lacking that. They lack leadership. They looked a little bit disarray at times, and a little bit disorganized, which is not really their thing. And again, I think that leadership mentality that Ronaldo brings, apart from scoring, was definitely missing. But kudos to Barcelona. I thought that they weren't great, but for the fact that they defeated a very big team away is a big thing. Um, One of the things I took from it was Usman Dembele, and he shows every time that he can really do what he wants, and he's one of the best at what he does. And
True.
it's just a shame that he can't do that every time, because going at players, he's one of the best at going at players, and you can't absolutely do anything about it. He'll go at you and beat you, and yeah, that was one of the positives I saw.
Well, Nahom, so Bazzi just touched on a point where he was mentioning the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo was not there. That midfield for Juventus, it looked flat. It looked like there was no way that they could stop a Barcelona team of this likes. What do you think about Juventus and how they came out and how they performed?
Well, I think Barcelona created probably two clear-cut chances in the first 3 minutes of the game. There were points where Barcelona players were literally walking in possession. And the commentator made a good comment. He said, "Is it because there are no fans that the Juventus players aren't up for the game?" And so that's how they kind of look. But it could have been easily 5-0, maybe 6-0, maybe 6-2, 6-3. Morata was off 3 times. By the way, Alvaro Morata, VAR, that guy's offsides every time.
The guy's born.
He was born offside as a
He's like
Chelsea
a
fan.
Trezeguet.
He's always
Modern day
offside.
David Trezeguet.
He's always offsides. So Barcelona were a bit lucky that some of them were very, very close. But it was a comfortable win. And so my thing is this: you sell Douglas Costa, you you really don't have any other wingers that can beat that give you that offensive half kind of creativity. So I just didn't understand where their creativity was going to come from. You have have the Uruguayan guy, and then you have another guy in the midfield that are very side to side backwards passing. They don't really give you a lot going forward. So I just didn't think they had the right balance. It was almost as if they were playing. It's almost as if they gave Barcelona too much respect. They backed off. Barcelona have struggled when they're getting pressured. And they didn't, outside of Moussa Dembele, they didn't really have a lot of pace up top. So I don't know why they didn't press from the get go. So I think Pirlo got his tactics wrong in that game. They were just playing straight counter and just sat back, which I guess a Barcelona team, they will create chances that way.
Well, now, just to piggyback on what he said real quick, and that's what I was saying, Bazzy, is that I watched the match. I videotaped it because I recorded I was working. But when I saw it, to be honest with you, I was a little disinterested after the first 10 minutes, honestly. It didn't seem like yeah, I mean, so that's when I came out to say, like, it didn't seem like if Cristiano Ronaldo is going to, I guess he would pick up every single player. I suppose. I don't know.
Hold on. So, Labrell, what you're saying, Labrell, is that
they just look so flat, like no energy.
Right. So, Labrell, you're saying that you were disinterested in the game. And you're saying also that if Cristiano Ronaldo played, you would still be disinterested in the game?
No, I think more what I'm saying is that I expected to see a Juventus that was fired up to play, ready to play without Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm a Man U fan. You're a Man U fan. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what does Juventus look like without a Cristiano? Nobody knows what Juventus looks like without a Cristiano Ronaldo since it only happens.
That's been the problem
with Pirlo. Like Cristiano Ronaldo for Juventus is the Messi for Barcelona.
Yeah, but
their system didn't really. I see what Labrell is saying. There was a lack of service. There's a lack of creativity. So unless Cristiano's gonna go pick up the ball at the halfway mark, there was nothing going on. Maybe if he played, they would have played a little different system. But it just they're playing a 3-5-2 with literally depending on Dybala to do anything and everything. So I just didn't understand it.
Could we say it was more about what Barcelona had to prove and less about what Juventus was going through for this match? I think that Barcelona has a lot going on within those walls, and I think those players have a lot on their shoulders, and I think that they just showed up and wanted to make a statement win, and it just so happened that Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't there. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay, so I guess to harp on what Labrell is saying, Bazzy, Josep Bartomeu, he resigned as president of Barcelona, and he's been there since 2014. Do you think that is one of the reasons why they had this statement game and this statement win, or was it the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo was absent?
Again, like I said, man, I guess we're watching different players. Since Cristiano Ronaldo came to Juventus, before he got there, they had a different identity. They were playing as a team. They won as a team. And you didn't depend on one guy scoring 35 goals. I think with Cristiano's first goal, he scored 25. Last year, another 30. He's basically the only guy that's really scoring the goals. So you cannot tell me that with him being absent, and he's that type of guy that he's going to give you at least 5 shots on goal. He's going to get chances. One of those chances is going to go in. Barcelona's defense is not at par as where it used to be.
Sure.
So I
That's
can't
that's
see the
true.
fact that Cristiano Ronaldo wouldn't have made a difference in that game, in the whole dynamics of how they're playing, how they were set up. And I think, again, I agree with Nahom to say Pirlo got his tactics messed up because I feel like he is a little bit too dependent on Cristiano Ronaldo. So you got to plan when you don't have a Cristiano Ronaldo, what's going to happen, because it's going to look like that every time. You know what I mean? You got to look into the fact that the guy's older. He's not going to give you 40, 50 games a season.
Nahom, if
Yeah.
If Ronaldo was on the field and Messi was off the field, it would be a complete. Well,
It's,
what are
I
your
don't even
thoughts?
know why we have
It
this
would be a
debate.
complete reverse of what we would be talking about. Like we would be saying the same thing about Juventus as like we're saying about Barcelona, and then vice versa. Because
I understand your point. He's the highest scoring player in the history of Champions League. So obviously he would make a difference. I think they would have played. They would have had a different approach to the game. What I'm saying is, I think the result kind of would have been the same. If they started the same way with him and Dybala up top, it was just lackluster for me. It wasn't. They were playing counterattack football. So yeah, and a lot of the chances they got that Morata got where he was offsides, he was running behind the defense. Ronaldo doesn't really make those runs. Ronaldo's more of a guy that gets the ball and turns on the guy versus just completely.
What was their setup yesterday? Did anybody know? They were in 3-5-2.
no, I think they had it was a 4-4-2. Dybala was playing like a false nine. He was dropping in the middle a little bit.
Is that what he usually played,
Nah,
Ronaldo?
nah. I think it was was it a 4-4-2?
Yeah, so it was
No, it definitely wasn't conventional. If it wasn't a conventional like English
Was that more like a
4-4-2.
So they had
three?
Cordado playing right back or right wing back.
right. They
Yeah,
had
exactly. Like a
Quadrado
3-5
and
something.
Danilo was playing outside back,
Yeah,
and then in
because
the middle had Rabiot and Bentancur, and then
they had
and Kulievski. They were both on 7 and 11, and then up the middle they had Dybala and Morata.
but Morata was up top by himself, right? He was
Morata was,
okay. Got you.
and Dybala
Okay.
was.
They played a 4-2-3-1.
Okay. See, I knew it wasn't a traditional English like set
Yeah,
4-4-2.
it wasn't a traditional 4-4-2. Dybala
Okay.
was dropping more in the 10 role.
I mean,
Is that how they set up when Ronaldo
Look
plays?
at the bench of Juventus. It's Aaron Ramsey and everybody else is like some Italian guy we don't know.
And
So
Weston McKennie, don't be rude.
Weston
Weston McKennie was in the.
I hope don't rate Weston McKennie. He will learn.
Don't be.
I mean, you're depending on Weston McKennie.
He will learn today. One day he will
Okay,
learn.
Pjanic or Weston McKennie, and then you buy Arthur for $70 million and you put him on the bench for Rabiot. Are you kidding me? For Rabiot,
Hey, something is going on with
Yeah,
Juventus,
something's
and
going
I
on.
just can't get my hands on it.
Something's going on, man.
Well,
Very
let's talk about it.
Can I ask a question on that topic?
Go ahead.
Just a quick question. What do you guys think? What's the objective for Pirlo? Because to me, they prematurely got rid of Sarri with no real replacement. Do they expect Pirlo just to? He's an easy guy to get because he's cheap. He's the club's legend, and he's gonna kind of relax the mood or what?
You answered your own question.
What's that?
I said you answered your own question. That's absolutely it. He's the most comfortable decision.
Right.
Now.
So I think that the way how clubs are operating nowadays is they're trying to bring legends into their clubs. So there are so many teams that have legendary coaches. So there's Man Utd, there's Arsenal, there's Chelsea, there's now Juventus, and there's also Real Madrid. So I think it's one of those cyclical things that's
Like
happening currently. Yeah, it's one of those things that's currently happening. And I don't think he is.
Well, it doesn't happen if Zidane doesn't win 4 Champions Leagues and Pep Guardiola doesn't win a La Liga.
Right. And it's like a copycat league. It's like the NFL. Like if you see that something is happening and it's happening actually good for the players, for the organization, then it's one of those things where the big clubs are going to want to follow suit and try to follow what everybody else has been doing.
By the way, Pirlo was getting his license. He had the position before he was officially licensed to be a manager. Like it wasn't official until and then they announced it. Then he got his then he graduated a couple weeks later.
Well,
so I don't understand what Juventus' identity is. Their ideas, they were right there to me, right, very close. And then they were just like, first of all, Sarri was a bad signing. He doesn't fit their system at all. So
and
into dumb decisions.
I'm not trying to outshine you here, but I have a question for you. So we were talking about Barcelona and Juventus,
Yeah.
but what about the Classico? I think Barcelona came out flat there and got beat. It's the exact same principle to me. I think it was
Okay.
bad. You know what I'm saying? I think they just came out super flat. I think it was a bad. I think it was a bad formation. I think that they didn't make any adjustments. I think it was poor substitutions. It almost seemed like almost kind of like how he was saying, like there was just no energy in the club. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to do your transition, but I'm saying like to me it's kind of vice versa. You know what I mean? It's just like the opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But the
So
thing is,
well, we
I
can.
think we're still because of the name Barcelona, we're giving them a lot more credit than they deserve. But on paper, they really don't have that good of a team this year. They have going into this year compared to last year. In my opinion, they've deteriorated. You've lost Suarez, and Messi is not happy. You don't know what he's going to do. It's disarray in the midfield. You're bringing in new guys with no experience. It's very difficult. You know what I mean? So the game against Real Madrid, clearly, in my opinion, it looked like more of an experience thing. You know what I mean? And they lost lack of experience. So Gino Dest, he looked okay, but he lacked experience. And
So
and and I felt like that's how Real Madrid is going to top them a lot because they're going through a lot of transition this year, and
so
they still have that expectation, which because they're Barcelona, but there's a lot of transition going in there. You know what I mean?
so now home. So okay, let's talk about the Classico for a second.
Yeah.
In the last six Classicos, Messi has basically had 0 goals and 0 assists. Right? He got some this past game with Real Madrid, but unfortunately he didn't finish. But Classico has lost it, in my opinion. I think it has lost its luster. Do you consider that to still be the biggest game in football? I remember when we were in college, we used to all sit around the Rams Den. Even when we graduated college, we would meet up in Silver Spring, hang out, just to watch the Classico. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on it, like its current stature?
Well, the first thing I want to make a mark on is I watched that Real Madrid Barca game. I didn't see a clear advantage point. I think it was a matter of like who was gonna mess up first, and then when you have your center back grabbing Sergio Ramos and Sergio Ramos acting like he got shot by a gun, that was the difference in the match. You
That
know
was
what I'm saying?
awesome.
Like, but like in terms of is the Classico still the biggest match in the world? Obviously, it is. There's no other match that matches up to it. The only thing is
Manchester Derby.
we have access these days, right? Back in the day, we like to get a Champions League game was tough. They might play each other twice, 3 times a year. Now they're playing each other like 4 or 5 times a year. So it's kind of lost that suspense, that excitement, and all that. But like, don't get it twisted. This Real Madrid and Barcelona is still the top the top tier games. One thing I want to mention and that classical match is Coleman. I'm like, you leave you have two 17-year-olds, which Fati is a baller, but the other kid Pedro, whatever his name is, you have him on the right wing when you have Musa Dembele on the bench. You have Griezmann on the bench that you paid 70 something million. I mean, $120 million for. So I didn't really understand what that idea was. Maybe he was resting them for the Juventus game. But then why do you bring them on in like the 80th minute? Like the game's already. You have 10 minutes to make a mark on the game, and a guy like Dembele needs more time to have impact on the game, and a guy like Griezmann needs even more time to have impact on the game. So I thought tactically, Coleman got that game wrong. Like, there's no favorites, Barcelona and Madrid. They're both really bad. Like, both really, really, really bad.
Okay, so if they're both Labrell, to you, if they're both really really bad, are we like I'm trying to see where, even though it's the name El Clasico and it's Real Madrid versus Barcelona, they're both really really bad. So how are you saying that El Clasico is still the biggest game in football and the biggest matchup in football, but Real
Well,
Madrid and Barcelona are both
football
really
didn't start
bad?
in 2020, and
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about currently. So currently the El
football
Clasico.
didn't start in 2020. Like, it's
Right.
still
So
a
currently they
history
have
behind the
lost
match.
their luster, right? So why, Labrell, who do you think is to be blamed? Real Madrid or Barcelona?
Well, to answer your question, I think neither is to blame. I think as football fans, we're just lucky. I think we're blessed. I think we live in a time where we can watch, Byron Schalk or the Manchester Derby or Arsenal and Tottenham. One of my favorite derbies, one of the first derbies I ever watched before I even knew I was a Manchester United fan, was Inter AC at the Giuseppe Meazza. I was at a friend's house. I had no idea who either team was. They still had the high shorts. You could see their nuts when they slide tackled. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, seriously, you know what I mean? But, they all have their place in history, but El Clasico is the bar. That's what it is. It's always going to be that. It's never going to change. Just because we're going through COVID and there are no fans there, wait till those fans go back there. Just wait. You'll feel the energy. I'm excited now. Like, I'm shaking right now. Like, dude,
You gotta hear what M's saying in a way. Like, I kind of understand what M's saying. It's not about the history of how big the game is. It's about the feeling of the competition that we get as we're seeing it currently. The level of the performance, the excitement of the game, just the little things. It's just
that's a different question, Bazzy. That's a different question.
Like like Pepe kicking somebody in the head.
That's definitely a different question.
Going to the side and choking each other. Like, it's just not there anymore. These guys are kissing each other through the tunnel and taking Instagram pictures, and like, it's different.
But that's the culture now. That's the culture that we live in right now.
So how are you guys saying? How are you saying that that's the culture? But Nahom is saying that both teams are really bad. Like, the quality of the play is not as good as it was back then. Do we all agree?
We're talking about back then, like 2 years ago, bro.
Okay,
like,
2 years ago.
So
what do you mean 2 years ago? Like, for the last 5 years.
Have they declined as a team? I think players are aging, right? Messi and those guys are getting to their 30s. Sergio Ramos is 36. So, yes, that next generation.
Sergio Ramos is 36? Where have I been?
35, 36, bro.
Jesus.
Yeah. So,
Jesus.
So it's a combination.
Ali, are you 40?
Of the
No, I'll be 30.
Ramos
I'll be 36.
Sergio Ramos is 34.
He's 34. He's an 87.
It's a combination of those things. Like, players are aging. So,
right.
You don't have 11 Spaniards versus 11 Spaniards. Not 11. Let's say 6 Spaniards from Madrid versus like 10 Catalonians playing in a match. They grew up together, played in different academies. It's more in them. Versus
right.
Guys, you think Dembele cares about the Classico? That guy's playing video games all night. They had to tell that guy stop playing video games and hire a chef because he was getting so many injuries. Those guys don't play. The
times are changing, man.
Chelsea, I'll give you a perfect example. I'm a big Chelsea fan, right? These guys will have a crap performance, right? There'll be a 50-50 challenge, slow to the 50-50 challenge. But they're on that IG saying, tough, unlucky tonight, good result, on IG within seconds. And I'm just like, bro, why are you on your phone? You were the worst player on the pitch. It's a different time.
Change, man.
It's a different time.
All right. So we talk about. Go ahead.
They're not doing that on Tottenham right now.
Right.
They're not doing that on Tottenham right now. Different attitude over there.
Weston McKennie said last year they had the derby. You know, Schalke and Dortmund, they're rivals.
Yeah.
So last year the derby came around Thanksgiving. So Weston McKennie said his parents flew into Germany, and Pulisic's parents flew into Germany, and those guys had Thanksgiving together as a family.
And they got blazed.
Is that true? That's real talk?
They walked into training, the whole room stopped. They looked at him like, what are you doing?
All right.
Oh, man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
We touched a little bit on Barcelona in the Champions League, and then we jumped over to the La Liga. But let's talk about Real Madrid and how they've been performing in the actual Champions League. They tied 2-2 in their previous matchup. Nahom, what are your thoughts on how they've been operating in the Champions League so far? I know it's the group stages, but
I agree with what Benzema said, man. Stop passing the ball to Vinicius Jr., man. I swear to my mother, he's in it for himself. Quote, unquote. If somebody said that about me, though, you gotta see with them hands when you get in the locker room, bro. That is disrespectful, man. And then speaking in French, right in front of the guys like
there are
this.
guys in
putting
this
the
group
shirts
that
and
used to
the
do
guys
that in
getting ready for the
college.
game.
I'm telling you,
Guys are blinking the
there are guys in this team. They're teammates of ours that used to do that all
Bro,
day
they're in
long.
the same
Listen,
locker room.
don't pass that guy the ball.
Yo, the guy doesn't speak French. He
Am I
barely speaks
lying?
Spanish. He speaks Portuguese.
No, Bazzy, you're speaking facts, man. You're speaking
Portuguese,
facts.
right? Yo, those guys are literally like, yo, him, Courtois speaks French, obviously from Belgium. Him, Mendy, and Benzema are like, yo, that guy right there, and the guy like this. You know what I'm saying? They're like, don't pass the ball to that guy because he's in it for himself. And I know what Benzema's talking about because Vinicius Jr. cuts in and in and in and in, and Benzema's in the middle asking for the ball. But you don't, as a leader of the team, as the vice captain, or the third captain, because Marcelo, you can't be talking like that, knowing the cameras are do this.
Yo, Benzo. No, one thing we know about Benzo is that guy don't care. He gives two F's.
Nah, he don't care.
And
So,
those guys have a problem. I'll answer the question.
Yes, sir.
I just have to add that.
Go ahead, Noam.
Those guys have a massive problem. And I want to thank Real Madrid fans for the 150 million they gave us for Hazard.
All right, so Labrell,
yes, sir.
In that game, I can't pronounce it. Mönchengladbach.
Bayern
Mönchengladbach. Those guys were up 2-0. I think all the way up to like the 85th minute. And Casemiro, he had the late goal. I think Benzema also scored late. They waited for the last minute to actually step up to where they can haul away a point. Is this something that's is this something that we would blame Zidane for, the way how he was set up, or is this something that was more on the players?
To be honest with you, I just watched this match about 45 minutes ago because I knew I was going to be on here. Honestly, this was one of the matches that I didn't get to see. So just to be upfront and honest, it looked like, from me just breezing through the match, it looks like it was just a let up, just like a defensive let up. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like it was a tactical thing or a bad substitution or something. Sometimes you just give up a goal. Sometimes you just, slip up. It didn't seem like, something. It didn't visually look to me that anything was disorganized. I didn't see disorganization. I didn't see the ball in their defensive third for, and the time of possession wasn't really that different. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't crazy different. So I feel like it was just something that may have been a little defensive lapse.
Okay, hello. Real quick. So the game is about results, right? The game is about results. And right now, currently Real Madrid is sitting at the bottom of their group. I know they've only played 2 games, but they only have 1 point. So is this something a case where Zidane is now under pressure based on his Champions League performance? Because that's ultimately what Real Madrid is trying to do, right? We're trying to win Champions League.
First off, is Zinedine Zidane. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, is he really under pressure? I mean, really? I mean, think about it. You know what I mean? He's not really under pressure. He's Zinedine Zidane. You know what I mean? Come
Bazzy,
on.
Do you agree?
I mean, come on, Bazzy. Be
honestly,
honest. He's Zinedine Zidane, baby. Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, I think I don't think there's anything going on right now because again, what he has done for them in retrospect of the Champions League, I think again it's a transition year for both Barcelona and Real Madrid. There's just so much going on, and even though those guys don't have a lot of patience at times, I think Zidane is one person they do have patience for, just because he's been the guy they've had the patience for. He's been there long enough, longer than most guys that they usually don't keep guys for that long. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I don't think there's any panicking going on right, especially when Barcelona, the rivals, are not really doing too well either. You know what I mean? Until Barcelona starts spanking teams and giving them a rope, then maybe the pressure might be different. But I think they'll get by in Champions League. They'll get through their group, and we all know how those guys get in the knockouts. So I don't think there's anything going on.
I wanted to add a point.
Go ahead now.
I disagree with Labrell. Their back line was completely off that game. You would see Sergio Ramos step up, Varane stay, vice versa. You see Varane step up, Sergio Ramos stay. So there's a lot of gaps. But also, Gladbach was finishing like there was no tomorrow. My man, what's my man name? The French guy, upper 90, hitting it side netting. But what like
You're talking
Madrid?
about Ram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Turam.
Madrid is not spending wisely. Like you have Close-Up, who's how old is Cruz?
Tony Cruz.
Cruz. He's got to be
I'm
like
not sure. Is it 30?
like-
Yeah, maybe like
Luka Modric,
32.
their legs for their legs. Luka Modric, Casemiro, and they're spending. They just bought 2 Brazilian wingers. They spent 150 million on wingers. So I know everybody's saying they'll get through, they'll do this. They look really bad. Like, they don't
Look,
look good at
especially
all.
their backline.
I just want to ask a question. Let me ask one question. Ali, I want to ask you a question to M. I just want to ask M, you already know me. So, Ali, this is to you. Just real quick, if you had to pick to manage either club, Barcelona or Real Madrid, which one and just briefly why, and go around the table for me. I just want to know why. I just want to see where you're at in your management and your head, please.
Honestly, it'll be easy for me. It'll be Barcelona. It'll be totally based on emotions. That's it.
Okay. At least
I've had a long emotional connection.
That's very honest. That's very honest. Now,
You got 100% Real Madrid. Barcelona's president just got sacked. Like it's a mess out there. They don't have any money because of FIFA Fair Play. They can't sign any players right now. They're giving 33-year-olds 5-year contracts. Their best player in the history of the club wants to leave. Koeman walked into no. There's a reason why. Iniesta Xavi got offered the job and he was like, you know what, I'm cool. Like, you turned down on Barcelona job, like, you know what, I'm cool because elections is coming up. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's right now the only time they can be like, yo, we need a new manager. Like Koeman, regardless of how he does, might get the sack because the new president might have different ideas. And I honestly think Pep Guardiola is going to leave City this year and go to Barcelona.
Really?
So for me,
it's his last year on his contract.
For me, it all depends. If Messi is playing for Barcelona, yes, I would manage Messi. But I know that Messi is going to be leaving in the summer. Well, he's highly likely that he's going to be leaving in summer. We don't know. That's one thing. That's one strike that's going against Barcelona. Even though they have won, they have won a lot since 2014, since Bartomeu's been there. Now that he's gone, but the main reason why he's gone is because they messed up the purchase that the sale of Neymar. With that sale, they bought Griezmann, they bought Dembele, they bought Coutinho, and all those guys are not really cutting it in Barcelona. I think Real Madrid has a lot more potential. They do have, in terms of youth, they also have that going for them over Barcelona. So I would pick Real Madrid.
Labrell, just to add one thing, the president when he got the sack by the manager, whoever the board, whoever it may be, he went out like Nas or like Tupac. He said, if we don't take salary cuts, if the players don't take salary cuts, we're gonna go under. He said there's a new European power league that's being
Super League
being built and left. But he didn't say why they're in a financial crisis. It's not because of COVID. It's because they spend so much money. It's insane. 300 million on 3 players. No, 350 million on 3 players. Are you crazy? It's nuts. It's because of him they're in the condition that they're in, but he's blaming everybody else.
What about you, Labrell?
So basically, I think so. Ali remembers when I was in Spain. I don't know. I think I was closer to Ali then. So I went to Spain, and when I was in Spain, I got to go to the Bernabeu. It was off season, so there was nothing going on, and I noticed that there was candles. Like candles outside lit. So I'm talking to people and I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, people come and they pray here. Like people come and they pray for their footballers. They pray for transfers. They pray for their man. They pray there. Real Madrid is a religion. Real Madrid is a culture. Atletico, all those clubs in Spain, all those clubs, you can manage any of them, honestly. But Real Madrid is the top of that. And I would love beyond, like, I had a little club here in Shepherdstown, and club, but you put me in
Labrell
charge
is a
of Real
player.
Madrid. You put me in charge of Real Madrid. Oh my God, man, dude, it's just something else. Just the culture of what they believe and just how they look at that club is just unbelievable. Just the fan base and the culture it's just crazy.
I've been to
All right.
Camp Nou and I saw the same thing.
Oh, I will agree with you. That's why I said all over Spain.
On
No,
TV.
I will
I
agree
wasn't at
with you.
Camp Nou though.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
will agree with you.
All right. I think we spent enough time on these La Liga teams. Let's jump over into England for a little bit. We're still gonna stick with Champions League. Let's talk about the second best team in Manchester. Manchester City, they beat Marseille 3-0. So Bazzy was funny. Manchester City, they beat Marseille 3-0.
You mean the team that just they won the league twice back to back, and then Liverpool?
All you gotta do is laugh, man. Those guys have Luke Shaw. That's what I'm laughing about. Hey, guess who? One game a year that I know that guy is gonna play well is against Luke Shaw. That's it. I cannot wait to step in
Hey,
against
Luke Shaw was solid.
That's it.
Hey, let me tell you something. Luke Shaw was solid in our man. Okay, you want to talk Man U?
Luke,
Man U played against, I don't even know it. Oh, Man U played
Salzburg.
against RB Leipzig, right?
Yeah, Leipzig. Yeah.
We smashed them 5-0.
We did.
Yeah. Everybody was scoring. You get a goal. You get a goal. You get a
Bazzy,
goal.
what are your
Well,
thoughts
guess
on
what?
that game? I want to hear what Bazzy has to
Luke
say.
Shaw is
What are your
panicking.
thoughts on that game?
Oh man, I can't wait for that game, man. It's gonna be a great one.
Smash Newcastle
Bazzy,
too.
I asked you what your thoughts were, Bazzy.
My thoughts on United against Marseille.
Man U against Leipzig.
Oh, okay. I thought that it was you guys came out firing. I actually thought that manager looked good. It's one of those
Okay,
games that
hold on. We
that
came
made
out
the manager
firing
look
Bazzy. It was
every time.
5-0.
Labrell, let him go. Let him go.
No, I'm just saying we came out firing.
Labrell, let him go.
Anytime a manager makes a substitution and the guy comes in and scores a hat trick, that manager is a man. You know what I mean? So let's give a Ole one day no blazing zone day. So I'm not gonna blaze Ole today, but overall, Man United played well. I saw some good things all around, but I'm not gonna get
Oh man,
my hopes high because you know how you guys go.
y'all want me to put on my kid gloves? Em, let me go.
Go
Quit
ahead,
holding me
Labrell.
back, man.
Go ahead,
You
Quit
gotta
Labrell.
holding
save
me
them for
back.
last, man.
No,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'll save you
Quit
for last,
back.
Labrell. Go ahead.
Let me go.
Go ahead, Nahom. Jump in on
Here's
it.
my thoughts on the game, right? Like United has high highs and very low lows. Like you guys are either like booming or you're like some shit, right? That game, seriously, that's what it is. As soon as you think Ole is about to lose his job, he gives PSG 6. Bam, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? Like just when you think something's gonna happen, like you guys get a win. But it was clearly you guys came there to play counterattack football. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happened, right? It was 1-0 until I think like the 65th minute when you guys made the subs, and then Leipzig turned the ball over 3 times in the midfield, right? And then
Leipzig was terrible.
When you have Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes that have an eye for space in terms of passing the ball to space, and you turn the ball over in the midfield and your defense is high, Rashford, Martial, those guys get behind the defense very easily. So there's a reason why United struggles with the teams that sit back and they do well against the teams that all they know is press. Because as soon as they turn the ball over, one ball and it's in. It's in that space, and you guys are in. That's most of your goals come from that. So I think you guys executed the game plan perfectly. Don't be surprised if next week, whoever you're playing, they sit back and you have a hard time finding goals. I think you guys are very good on the counter, but when the team sit back, you guys struggle. But against Leipzig, the game plan from Ole was fantastic, and it was naive from the Leipzig manager to play the way that he played, because there's a lot of the midfielders will lose the ball in the midfield, and then your counter Rashford is already making that run. Nobody on the Leipzig team is going to catch Rashford.
Okay, so before you go, Labrell, I just wanna say that in the Champions League we beat the last season's finalist, okay, and we beat the last season's semifinalist. Since Manchester United started this season, we played 8 games. We won 6, we lost 2, and we tied 1. Just wanted to make sure that you
We
guys
also took 6 from Tottenham. Like my brother.
right.
It's
And
high
that
highs, low
right.
lows.
We took 6 from Tottenham and we lost 3-1 to Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Right? I just wanted to let you guys know that
Keep
there
that
was
balance. That's all I'm saying.
So who knocked in 5 on Liverpool? Didn't Liverpool give up 5 or 6 goals already this year? Didn't they have a game like that? 7.
See,
Okay.
this is where Man
7.
United is getting to. That's what I've been
No.
I've been trying to get you fans to understand where you're standing right now. Like,
dude, listen.
Go ahead with your
it's
point,
very,
bro.
very bad times. Like, look at the type of stuff you're trying to get.
What I'm saying is this.
They gave us 6, but we gave them 5, and those guys took 6. It's okay. It's
I
like
agree with
the bigger loser.
Listen. You're right. Look, Bazzy, you're right. You are absolutely right, and that I agree with 100%. But we live in reality, and reality is that we're knocking in goals right and left. This is what's happening. We have something building here. It's starting to build, and we're gonna see y'all. We're gonna see you, Arsenal. We're gonna see you.
So you think?
Listen.
One question.
Look at M's face.
Yo, listen.
I'm waiting.
M is not
I'm
even
waiting.
convinced. M is like, M is just praying to God that Luke Shaw has a decent game.
Yo.
Hey, Bazzy, let me tell you something. We're going to be playing against Arsenal this weekend. There's nothing going on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen.
Remember last time you played us?
Let Labrell finish.
All I'm saying is,
you played a better
Go ahead,
team.
Labrell.
all I'm saying is that we're working on something. We're building something. Listen. That's okay. We got embarrassed by Tottenham. Jose Mourinho embarrassed us. It was embarrassing for everybody. The club. It was embarrassing for every player. Since that match, look at us. Look at us. Look at how we're playing. Look at the tenacity from that team. Look at the energy. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you guys should have lost to Newcastle. You scored like 2 goals in the last like 95th minute.
Who cares?
Didn't we win that game?
No, but what I'm saying.
Who cares?
Because there's context to football.
No, get out of here.
Okay.
Get out of here. Chelsea, you paint your own story, Chelsea. You let me paint ours.
Can I give you an example?
Okay, LeBron,
Because
prediction.
there's a fan
Man
and
U
then there's
Arsenal
football.
prediction.
Okay, right. So now home. Go
Let
ahead.
me give you
Go
an
ahead,
example.
Home.
Can I give you an example?
Yes.
Chelsea won 4-0 this past the Tuesday. We play like crap. So I'm honest with me, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, it's not there yet. But when you look at the scoreline, it draws the picture of like, yo, we're building something. But guess what? We ain't building a goddamn. There's a lot of time. So there's a lot of time that we need to build something. Everybody, because that's the context of the games that I'm seeing from Chelsea. So and then Chelsea hasn't taken 5 yet this year. You know what I'm saying? Like Chelsea didn't lose to Crystal Palace. We've lost to one team so far in regular play, right? And that was Liverpool.
Right.
So that's because football always trumps, no pun intended, my fanship of a club.
Okay. So
Yeah, but we weren't talking about Chelsea. We were talking about United.
We can beat these
Right.
teams. But
Okay.
it's another thing to say we're building something.
Okay.
You just said Ole out like 2 weeks ago.
So
Right.
now,
I was
right.
about
So
to say
listen
that. I
up.
was about to say, when they
here's the
taking
thing.
5, we're building something.
Here's
When
the
they take 5, Ole is out.
No.
Arsenal
Arsenal is trying to build.
When they taking 5, Ole is out.
Arsenal is trying to build something. Okay, it's not really working. Chelsea's trying to build something. They're doing pretty good, right? The
Calm your
expectation
horses,
for Chelsea.
M.
And Manchester United is also. No, I'll let you guys talk. Manchester United is also on the verge of building something. It was not a great. No, hold on.
Going up.
Let me give my analysis of the game. It was not a great performance, right? Because the way how Manchester United right now, the way how we're built, we're a counter-attacking team when we play against big teams. Manchester City, Tottenham at some point, Chelsea. How many times did we beat Manchester City last season? We beat them like 3 times. I think they beat us 1 time out of the 3 or 4. Right? When we play against PSG, we went over there, we beat PSG.
Because you sit back in front of
we're not giving
times are hard. Those guys
it's my turn. We're not doing, our performance is not as great, but we are getting the results. And it's a result-driven game. Like the game is all about the results. If we played listen, if I was in Shepherd and I played terribly and we win that game 1-0, You think I'm gonna be that upset about it?
But
We're
yeah,
talking
but
about
We came
okay.
in
the
there.
thing is, you don't have an
All of us go
identity
in there and get 3 points. Those guys went in there and they got their 3 points. So I'm not.
There's
What's
no
your starting
identity.
lineup?
What's the
What's
identity?
your starting lineup?
Name my
What are
starting
you
lineup
building?
Oh no, just in your midfield. Name your starting midfielders.
in the midfield in the past game. In the game that we just played
No,
against.
no, 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 no. Like, what is you don't even have a consistent team yet. So,
Okay, right.
I think
Because
this is the
okay,
difference.
no, hold on. So
It's the
you have
definition.
yes.
The
So you
definition
guys
of
have a
what?
this is our consistent team. Our consistent starting lineup is a
Okay.
starting lineup that played when after COVID, after we came back from the COVID break. But because we didn't have depth, right? That was the reason why we were hurt in the games. Now that we have depth, we're trying to do we have to have a good rotation, which is why we brought in Matic, which is why we brought in right? So those guys can actually get playing time. Liverpool is doing the same thing, but Liverpool
Mata's starting for you guys. Still.
right?
Mata's like
We started
38.
Mason Greenwood. We had Bruno Fernandes on the bench. We had Marcus Rashford on the bench. So we're actually trying to build a deep
You're
squad.
building.
But when Liverpool does it, right? Liverpool brought in Minamino. He brought in the little short dude from Stoke. I don't remember what his name was. Shaqiri. So they're trying to they have Jota. So
they already built it. Their house is built.
It's a different thing, but when Ole does it, it's different.
No, you're not answering the questions. You're going around the questions. You're doing that politician shit.
What is the question?
The thing is, you don't have an identity.
We most certainly have an identity.
There's no
counterattack team. A counterattack
What are you
team.
talking? Listen, you look at Chelsea, right? You see the players that they bought. It's not about these guys. They're going to rotate. These guys are going to be playing. These are the guys that are going to be the man on these spots. You guys went and bought one of the best midfielders in the world and don't know what the fuck to do with the guys. And you have them on the bench.
That's not true at all. What are you talking about? We have somebody from Arsenal telling us how to run our club. This is ridiculous.
Wait.
I'm not listening to this. I'm not listening to this. Are you kidding me?
So you agree with Van der Beek sitting on the bench while Crystal Palace is smacking your ass? That was smart.
No. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that we got smashed by Jose Mourinho and his big swinging Johnson. And when you get embarrassed like that, it does something to you. You're an athlete. This is what I tried to explain to the guys last time, and they didn't believe me. And look what happened. I'm telling you, you guys were athletes. You know what it's like to be embarrassed. You know what it's like to be embarrassed. You know what happens to you. You come out and you train harder. You come out and you work harder. You push the next player beside you. We look better as a squad.
You guys,
we are a counter-attacking football club who got rid of a counter-attacking person. We should have got Romelu Lukaku. We should have got Lukaku. I miss Lukaku.
Let me ask a question, LeBron. That's Labrell. I said LeBron.
It's
Let
all
me ask
good.
a question, Labrell.
What's up?
Now, home. You're on the neutral side of this. Manchester United. We play against Arsenal this weekend. Out of both of those teams, which team do you think is going in the right direction of getting back to their past greatness?
As much as I hate Arsenal, I think it's hands down Arsenal.
Why?
It's you can see a change in them. First of all, they bought Partey. They didn't buy Van Beek. They need a Partey. You guys sign him because his name is Van Beek. He's similar to Bruno. He plays in the same position. He's somewhat similar to Pogba. That's why he's not playing.
We need depth. Gotta have depth.
Center back. But you don't buy Van Beek for depth.
Oh, you certainly do. If Barcelona would have done it, we wouldn't have said anything.
No,
if Barcelona would have done that, we wouldn't have said anything. Oh, be honest. Be honest.
Hold on, LeBron. Hold on. Let Nahum finish. Go ahead, Nahum.
Europa League like 2 out of the 5 times.
Nahum, go ahead. Finish your point.
So I like it's not by a distance, LeBron. So respect to that. But I like Arsenal's baseline is very small compared to yours. Like your baseline is the great days they're a little different.
It is.
Like,
It is. You're right.
so it's not a fair question.
That's right. And that's why I'm telling Bazzy in this little corner of my screen here that your club ain't done nothing for the better part of a decade. You got hold on. No, first of all, you are a soccer.
I don't think you know the players that you buy, because if you're sitting here, one of the best midfielders in the last 3 years, you telling me he's a depth player for a club that can't even play in the Europa League, that's taking 5 to Tottenham and 3 to Crystal Palace, and you're telling me we got a plot for big clubs like Tottenham.
It was 6-1.
You guys have issues.
Okay. We do have issues.
Hold on. So, Bazzy, to your point, in the last Premier League season, we had Bruno Fernandes, right? He came in, he was a top-notch player, right? When Bruno Fernandes, he was playing every single game, every single minute.
Every single PK.
He was gonna every single day. He was gonna get burnt
Scoring
out.
all the penalties in the world.
Scoring all the PKs. Bruno Fernandes. But at some point, he's gonna get burnt out. And when he gets burnt out, we don't want to put Jesse Lingard on there. We would prefer to not put Pereira on there. So we decided to go ahead. Yes, some would consider it to be a panic buy, but we went ahead and we tried to add depth in that position, where you even said that Bruno Fernandes, he plays Bruno Fernandes' position, and he also plays Paul Pogba's position. If Paul Pogba has a bad day, no problem. We have depth now. So how are you going to say that is a bad buy?
Talk.
Let me explain to you exactly the situation with that buy. Yes. Okay? First of all, you didn't get rid of anybody that needed to be getting rid of. So you put yourself in that situation. You know what I mean? First, that guy, as heavy as it is, you know me, I'm a Dutch fan. So you can't tell me about the Dutch players. I know them very well. When I heard that Man Utd was getting Van der Beek, the first thing I said was, you have to make room. Because he's very similar, yet he's very good. He's not a bench player. He's not a squad player. That guy he's a guy that runs the show. The first second he came in the game, he scored a goal. And then you're messing with the guy's head, and you're not even winning games. You're not even a big side. You can't even beat Crystal Palace.
I don't know
about squad rotation.
I don't think Ole brought Van Beek. I think the owners bought, or the guy that's running.
I don't think so either, man.
Van Beek. Because you don't put a guy like Van Beek on the bench. I'm sorry.
That was a weird buy, man. That's not a squad player, and Jesse Lingard is a squad player.
Okay, so where would you?
My point is, you're not heavy enough to go buy a player that heavy and make him a rotation player. You're not that old Man U.
And in order for you to start somewhere, in order for you to go somewhere, you have to take the first step.
What are you
talking about? You sound presidential, Adam. We don't buy it.
In order for them to go somewhere, they have to make a first step, right? So they took the first step in the game, getting depth in a position where if Bruno Fernandes does not play, we have somebody else that's capable of doing what Bruno Fernandes does. If Paul Pogba doesn't play, you're saying McTominay is as good, is the same position player as Bruno? Is that what I just heard you say?
No, I said McTominay and Matic has played more games, more minutes than Van der Beek. Regardless of what's going on, same position or not, find a way to put that guy on the field.
Okay. Maybe I'm biased because
I'm Dutch.
Labrell.
I feel like you guys are that small of a club now to where you can't afford to have that guy on the bench.
So you're okay. So
club, you need a guy like that on the field to get you back to where you need to be. So next thing you know, you're ninth, and you're going to want to play the guy a lot. Okay. And then, it's a little bit too late now. You want to see his quality late.
So, Labrell.
Put the guy on the field, man.
So Labrell.
Stop joking around talking about
the fan who supports a team that finished 8th is telling the fan that team that finished 3rd that we're not that big of a club.
Listen.
Let me ask you a question. No, Labrell.
You guys will bite in your nails.
I want to get a prediction.
So, in all seriousness, Ali's right. His soccer acumen is dead on. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan at heart. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to United, I'm a fan. But I can't argue that. But listen, we did get we need depth on our team. We needed depth. Now I don't know if that was the right player, but that was I think the motivation behind that. That's just what I think. As far as the game, I think it's going to be 1-1. I think it's going to be a 1-1. I think Arsenal's going to come out and put one in the first half early, and I think we're going to put one in right after that. And I think everybody is just going to run back and forth and play kickball. Honestly, I think we're going to get a good first 25 minutes of the game, and then the rest of that is just going to be us watching players jog around.
All right, Labrell. Last time you made the prediction last time, and you were spot on with that early W.
Bro, I don't want it to be like that, man.
Bazzy, let me hear what you got to say. What's your prediction on this game?
Well, in the world of La La Land, I would say 4-1 Arsenal.
Woo!
But
Good God.
In reality,
I hope not.
I would say the game, because there's just a lot of power. So I think it is going to be maybe a 2-2 draw. So I think it's going to be around a 2-2 draw. I think there's going to be some mistakes. I think there's going to be some flair. I think there's going to be some penalty freaking kicks. And
who's going to put the 2 goals in for Arsenal?
My friend, can I get my goddamn girl?
Who's going to score? I just want to know who he thinks going to score.
Well, you see, Labrell, the way how we're going these days, we don't really depend on one guy. Anybody can put it in. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can score. But one thing I can tell you is, let me get my African accent real quick. If that boy Luke Shaw play, my mommy will be happy. I just want Luke Shaw to play.
I hope. Let's see what your prediction is.
So you guys aren't gonna like this, but both of your teams now are counterattack football clubs. You know what I'm saying? It's small club mentality. Now, all you guys do is counterattack. So it's literally gonna be and Arteta is king of this. The chess match. Whatever the other team style plays, he plays this other it's almost the same style. But Arsenal haven't won at a Big Six home in like 6 years. So I think there will be like a red card in this game, like something crazy. I think United will win, like 2-1 maybe.
Yes, no David Luiz, can't be him.
All right. So
guys hurt. It can't be him.
For me, it's gonna be easy. Manchester United is gonna take it. It's gonna be a 3-1 contest. It's gonna be a surprise. The mentality that we're gonna play, we're gonna ride that wave of the win streak that we've been going on. Arsenal is considered 2
games, bro.
Is
win streak.
No,
I'm looking at the brother. The brother not even sure about what he's saying.
Listen. Manchester United, Arsenal has been considered to be a big club, right? So Manchester United is going to be up for that game, just like how they were up for RB Leipzig. And we know that Arsenal is not a big team, so they're going to be trying to play counter-attacking football. And the way how Rashford, the high that Rashford has been playing on right now, I think Rashford's going to get one. I think Bruno's going to get one, and I think we're going to not David Luiz, and I think somebody else is going to sneak another one in. So it's going to be 3-1.
So who's going to score for us, Em? Who's going to score the one for us?
Lacazette. That's easy.
Well, Pepe's not going to start, Aldo, so it can't be Pepe.
Now, let me tell you the story today at Arsenal Fan TV, because those guys are idle. All those guys are worried about is if Luke Shaw is playing. And if Luke Shaw is playing, the option is to be
what?
Bazzy Pepe.
I changed who's gonna score. Bazzy. I think Ozil's gonna score in this one. I think Ozil's gonna
Free Ozil.
Yo, speaking of Ozil, man, Bazzy, what do you think about Ozil? The whole situation with Arsenal and Ozil. You think being treated fairly?
I told you not to go there, man.
I'm just asking a simple question, Bazzy.
I don't think it's fair. I absolutely love the way how Ozil is handling it. I think he's petty and awesome with it. I think it's great. Those guys fired a mascot. Ozil go and hire the mascot. You know what I mean? It's heavy. Ozil just paying for all the youths them in England. He's buying all the stuff. And ultimately, I think the truth will come out once his contract ends. And
come out.
Not worried about getting sued. He's going to call, what they call Nahum La Equipe.
You said what?
The French newspaper that give you the exclusive. Of course. He's going to go there, have some coffee, and tell those guys everything. He's going to talk about who was sleeping with who. He's going to give those guys, listen, they better make Ozil happy. but I absolutely don't agree with the way they treat him. I don't believe Arteta. I think he's a stand-up guy for being a coach and saying it's my fault. But I'm a man of logic. You know what I mean? He came in, he was playing the guy. He knows Ozil as a player. He knows his characteristics. Like Nahum say, man, you can't fool these eyes, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're
My
not
eyes
gonna
don't
tell
lie.
me. You're not gonna tell me Ozil is the 26th worst player in Arsenal.
Labrell,
It's not possible.
Labrell, you got anything to
I
add
don't
on?
care what you tell me. So it's definitely not a soccer decision, even though the coach is saying it is. But I think the coach is doing what a coach does.
I don't really comment on Arsenal too much, but I will say this. I will say that I definitely could understand how Arsenal fans would miss some of Ozil's goals. He had amazing goals.
Assist.
Just yeah, he's just played well for Arsenal. It's just sad that it has to go down like that. But I mean, oftentimes, it doesn't always end sweet. You know what I'm saying? See, with Messi and so we gotta look back at the good goals that he had, and hopefully many blessings where he ends up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully his career goes on, and everything is good for him and his family. Same
Now,
to you guys. Same to
now,
you guys. Many blessings to you and yours.
My man got
Labrell,
emotional.
I've been trying to stop by, but that guy they call Ryan Prosper, he's very disorganized.
Yo, it's all
Guys, we're
right.
not having a casual conversation on the damn.
Nahum, what you got?
Nah, man.
So
It's
I
all
think
love, man.
the
It's the
thing with
family.
the Ozil thing is it's not football. We all know that. As soon as the guy, first of all, the club leaked the fact that took the pay cut, or that said that he wouldn't take the pay cut if he didn't know where it was going.
And there were two other guys.
Every single club. So Chelsea, Aspilicueta spoke for the club, and apparently said that if the resources are going towards staff and support the people that support the club, then they're willing to take a pay cut. But if it's not, they're not going to take a pay cut. Same thing at Leeds. They have the Amazon series, and they said the Leeds players, when they were in the championship at the time, they said if it's going to support the staff of the club, they're more than literally 100% of the players were like, we're down to take a pay cut. But that's the only people we're willing to take a pay cut for. Ozil said the exact same thing, but his leak, not through the club, not through him saying it, not through Amazon, but through the club. Somebody in the club leaked the fact that Ozil doesn't want to take a pay cut, and he had to come out with a separate report saying
They just been treating the guy so bad.
It's just terrible. It's terrible. And I think so. He also made a comment against the Islamophobia that's going on in is it China?
Yeah.
And
that's why he's not
they
playing.
dropped Arsenal from their subscription or whatever channels, and they're saying that played a big role into the finances of the club. So that's why he's like sitting.
It's 100% why he's not playing. Football has become so political, and again, in my opinion, this is what I absolutely 100% think happened. Again, the contract that we have with China is huge. They represent probably 20 to 30% of our revenue, which is huge. You know what I mean?
Sure. That's a lot of money.
What Ozil said was specific towards the Chinese. And if you know the Chinese, they're very cultural people. They take everything extremely personal. You know what I mean? I think somewhere around the line, they came back to Arsenal and had this conversation and said, this is disrespectful. We don't want to do business with you guys. And I absolutely think down the line, somebody up there was like, the only way this could go down, we can work with you guys, is if this guy can't play, because our people can't stand to see him on your team. It's be disrespectful. I can't put anything far-fetched past it anymore. I absolutely think he was blacklisted because of that. And eventually, when he comes out, he's going to say it. And I think it's going to be bad for the club. And if it's true.
Well, guys, let's listen out. On that note, we can listen out. I think Bazzy has a little mini Arsenal series thing that he's trying to do to talk about that. So, you guys can go a little bit more in depth with that. But
nice.
With that, our family reunion, it has come to an end. Thank you, Bazzy.
So we're not talking about Chelsea.
Thank you. We don't have time for small clubs, Nahum. Thank you, Nahum. Thank you. I'm the guy with some questions.
One.
Please leave your thoughts, suggestions, feedbacks, or any corrections in the comment section below. And for all things Soccer Family, just check us out on thesoccerfam.com, where you can find our podcast, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, email. Help support and subscribe to our project for as little as $1 a month, where you can get exclusive content and you can also be a part of the family. Shout out to Aiden Presta. Also, he's one of the first subscribers on our Patreon.
Hey, and Ryan told me if I do this, I get a second. He said I get 10 seconds.
Oh,
he told me. He promised me.
Hear what you have to say. I hope to get to see you guys at the next Soccer Family reunion. We're about to give Labrell his 10 seconds.
Yeah, So listen, look. All right. So listen. I just want to let everybody out there know, if you don't follow these guys and you don't listen to these guys, you are missing out. This is a great time. I look forward to this podcast. I look forward to these guys. I know these guys personally. This energy is real. This energy is sincere. These guys love football. They love their clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is what it is. It's for real. A lot of it's fake. You see a lot of them people out there, they fake. They get paid. They not doing it for real. These guys love it. You know what I'm saying? They love it. They love it, love it, love it. Thank y'all. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.